Greetings everyone, welcome back to Kadic Reviews, and this one is kind of special. Why? Because it's sort of retro, but it's not. You know how I feel about retro-sodes or reboots. They can be kind of iffy depending on who or what it is. One of which of the series is Voltron, Defender of the Universe, a show that was started in 1984 by World Premiere Productions. This Japanese show, called Lion Guard, was transferred to America back then with actually quite a prominent acclaim. It was one of the first animes to really cross over the mainstream American consciousness. But it was largely caught up on the rebound when anime took off in the early to middle of the 90s. Voltron also had a resurgence because of the new Toonami block when it was put on it back in late 1997. But what most people will remember Voltron for being is kind of the animated grandfather of that which we call Power Rangers. And you can even throw Gatchaman, or what's known over here as G-Force, as another example. But Voltron's the best example. Voltron has been redone now 4 times. That's right, 4 times Voltron has been resurrected, each with different results. Let's not talk about that 3D version that they did as a sequel back in the 90s. That was, terrible. It makes Season 1 Code Lyoko look like Jesus freaking Christ. Upon other shows that use CGI. It was one of the worst examples ever. The third being, of course, the most recent edition, Voltron Force, which Nicktoons had for only a season and 26 episodes. I guess it didn't catch on. Voltron Force was trying to be a sequel to the original series. It did not turn out as well, seeing that the new characters were not as relatable as the old Voltron Force. Essentially, you watch it for the old guys, but the story was built for the new ones. So, here we are again. World Premiere Productions, in accordance with DreamWorks Animation. Yes, that DreamWorks got together with our boys at, well, Netflix. We've already done a couple of shows from them, Knights of Sidonia and BoJack Horseman, to once again, for the 4th time, bring us Voltron. This in the form of Voltron Legendary Defender. But unlike Voltron Force, this series has some heavy-hitting voice talent and heavy-hitting writing talent. Who are the writers? Well, if you like The Legend of Korra and Avatar The Last Airbender, know that this is their new animated project. And their writing is all over this thing. Their comic timing that is known for Avatar is on point. The animation style, although done with CGI, has mostly done hand-drawn models, which makes the 3D pop off with amazing clarity, crispness, and an overall visual pop that's just stunning. It's one of the best animated series I've seen in terms of looks in a very long time. But it is that writing team that drives the point home. The one-liners, spot on. The serial nature, dead on perfect. And yes, I said serial nature. This series gets rid of Voltron's usual monster of the week, or Robeast of the week, if you want to be Voltron appropriate. In its place is a more serious driven story that acts as a canonical reboot to the entire Voltron series. Of course, for those unbeknownst to Voltron, it is about 5 space pilots that are given the ability to man 5 robotic lions, each of which with their own abilities and skills, but ultimately are meant to come together to form the titular character of Voltron, defend the universe from the evil Robeast Empire, or in this case, the Gara Empire. But it's all the same. The Gara have imprisoned most of the galaxy under slavery or just pure domination, rotting away resources from other planets for this form of magical energy known as quintessence. And they've been doing this for a long time. Why? Because they've been in search of the Big V. Luckily, 5 pilots through an intergalactic dimensional portal find their way to the Voltron signature planet of Eris to find and wake up Princess Allura. Princess Allura, played by Kimberly Brooks for the voice actor, is completely different than any Princess Allura that has come before it. The other Princess Alluras are innocent, almost to the princess stereotype, but strong enough to get into a pinch when need be. For any classic Voltron fan, they'll know what I'm referencing here. But Legendary Defender doesn't do this character swerve with Allura. Instead, they make some changes that I'll note. But Allura is strong-willed, convicted in her want to stop the Gara Empire that have destroyed her home planet and left her and her number 1 assistant / butler, Koran, played expertly by Lole, as the last remaining remnants of their royal empire in their own right, trying to fulfill the last wishes of the dead king to bring peace to the universe. The Voltron force is brought together rather haphazardly. You see, unlike in the other versions of Voltron, the Voltron force doesn't get along right away. In fact, the characters of Keith and Lance are constantly in a competition with one another to see who can top who. Lance is your typical, to steal a phrase from Avatar, Sokka character. He thinks he's one with the ladies and is cool about himself and wants to take big risks and big chances. While Keith is a serious character, almost a conspiracy freak in a way, skilled in his technique but not in his temperament. He often goes off the handle when dealing with problems. Gone is the character of Spen, and in its place is a character called Shiro. But Shiro pretty much plays the role of the leader of this new team. Now the force is referred to as Paladins, And the Black Paladin is the most confident leader type of them all, always knowing what needs to be done, taking a serious approach to Voltron's formations and at the business at hand with dealing with Zarkon and the Empire. But he also holds deep, dark secrets that I can't spoil here because it's central to the first 12 episode arc. But let's just say it's written very, very well, with a couple of twists near the end of it that makes it absolutely excellent. And of course, rounding out the team is Hunk, which Hunk pretty much remains unchanged from his original archetype. Loves food, is a fun-loving guy, but knows when to get serious and has a heart of gold and determination and courage. It's with the character of Pidge, however, that you can tell the Avatar signs are showing, and that this is clearly the same writing staff, because Pidge in the original series is a fast-talking, someone very technologically skilled but young male, who plays as the nerd character of the group. But however, in Legendary Defender, it's a gender switch. You see, Pidge is just a nickname. Her real name, and yes, I said her, is Katie Holt. She is an expert hacker who got in trouble with the military, so much so they banned her from ever being in any of the sight of anything. But she's got her own motives, and the reasoning drives the early episodes of the series and even drives conflict with the team. Once again, keeping spoilers light here, because it's written expertly well. Well, you probably want to know about the action. Well, the action is spot on perfect. The paladins have their own individual weapons based on their lions and their personalities. Keith with a sword and shield, Hunk with a big transformative shoulder cannon, Lance with an assault rifle, Shiro I can't really get into because again, that connects with the plot, and Pidge with a rather interesting weapon. It's more of a hook or a rope, which is kinda neat, all things considered. But of course, when it comes to the lions, the lion combat is done expertly. And it's really when the lion combat comes into play that another big change is done. In the previous Voltron series, the Castle of Lions, the world-famous hiding place for the giant robot, is usually a stagnant place, and the lions move out from that place to do battle with the evil forces. Not in Legendary Defender. The castle is actually a spaceship, able to move across the galaxy at will, and even has cannons and weapons and a shield in which Allura controls. You see, this way, she can still be a viable member of the Voltron force without having to make that character switch that they did in the old version. Again, retro fans watching this review will know what I'm referencing. Let's just say one character is swapped out for her. But even if the swap would happen later, the swap would be more justified because of Allura's stronger character here. she winds up being the strongest character of the group of 7. But every character is likable here because of their personality, their relatability, and their individual reasons to want to stay on the force or why they feel the job is important. And every character gets a time to shine in the short 12 episode series, which is really impressive to pull off with such a short episode runtime. It really freaking is. However, Voltron Legendary Defender isn't necessarily all perfect. What's wrong about it? Well, the music. The new music, although orchestral and done with a lot of care, just doesn't really connect like the old classic Voltron themes of old. You know the one. And if you don't, look it up. You'll understand why I feel the non-use of the old theme really hurts, especially in the formation of Voltron itself, which is another negative, but it doesn't hurt it actually, it more or less helps it, because every time you see the big Voltron itself, it's in important, high-stakes battle scenes, and even the unification of Voltron takes all 5 members to be on the same wavelength and the same page. Sort of something that the creators may have stolen from Voltron Force, because it works the same way there. And things like the world famous blazing sword take things from their Bayard sub-weapons to use, which gives Voltron a little bit more depth in attack, unlike in its previous forms. The look for the big Voltron himself is still excellent. He still moves fast, attacks even harder, and the battles against the evil beast are generally great to watch in high stakes, which keeps you watching every episode because every episode is important. There isn't really a skip here, and that's a beautiful testament. And once again shows that Netflix's creative freedom allows shows that would otherwise not flourish anywhere else flourish big time here. And Legendary Defender is yet another example of why Netflix is quickly becoming a destination for creators to bring their TV-style series, with this being among one of the best yet. As an old school fan of Voltron growing up, after all, I watched Voltron even before I watched Power Rangers, it's really a heartwarming task to watch this series and watch it done so well. If you loved Avatar and Legend of Korra, the writing style will make you feel right at home seeing that it's from them. And their style and their ability to take risk are showcased expertly here, almost better than even Korra did. Meanwhile, Voltron's legacy is maintained perfectly intact while giving a new continuity and making some risky character changes that just pay off. This, my friends, even at 12 episodes, right now as it stands, ranks as my favorite version of Voltron. It's that good. And for anybody who's an old school nostalgic fan or has never heard of Voltron before, if you have Netflix, check it out. It's worth it. It's one of the best new original programs that Netflix can offer you. and I can't help but recommend it. A perfect 10 out of 10, even with the musical nitpicks of not having the classic Voltron music or not having enough experiences with Voltron. The serialized, character-driven nature and the excellent writing and pacing make Voltron Legendary Defender a must-watch. Netflix, get that Season 2 out, like, now! And do yourself a favor, if you liked what you saw here, hit the like button. If you want to see more reviews like this one, hit that magical sub button. We do a lot of other things, from TV to animation to, yes, because it is code Equestria after all, My Little Pony reviews for both the comic and TV show. And anything pony related, really. And if you have anything to say about Legendary Defender, leave a comment down at the bottom. I will most certainly respond, because I take it very personally. Until the next Kadic Reviews, I am Nirvana Sparkle. Find peace in your own Nirvana, and thanks for watching.